What is up, gamers? I'm gonna fucking do an analysis on my own run because I'm an narcissistic prick and I want to actually tell people my thought process before letting them come to their own conclusions about my own fucking run. So, I'm doing this because I'm bored and I want to do it, smiley face. And, you know, I'm just proud of myself to a degree. So fuck it, you know, man. Let's just start it up, Mamas. Okay, so first thing to say, I use control for the Zelda runs, and the reason why this is done is because control is fucking broken, as you're gonna come to see. But at the start here, it saves like 2 seconds over mouse and keyboard, where at fastest it's like 6 seconds at the start of the run. But with control, it's like 4 if you do it well. Not including this little scroll up I do. 1, 2, literally 3 seconds. My own keyboard, that would take like 5 or 4. So that in itself, if you want to think about it like in that way, that saved me. That gave me sub-4. But like a lot of things gave me sub-4 in this run, by all accounts, right? So let's keep going. Just kill the fire. I played the strike too fast, guys. This is actually a task. Smiley face. The whirlwind sucks. Okay, I gotta explain this part. I fuck up initially by doing the strike. When I am in the strike menu, when I'm trying to I'm on this remove the strike menu, I input down, and that makes me select the defend immediately coming out of that. So I press down again to go to where I think I wanted to go to the defend. But then I went back up to the strike, and I realized that, so I didn't click on strike again. So I just went back down to defend. That's an unfortunate shrine event, which, yeah, that just happens. Unfortunately, I make a very weird decision here. I decided to double from this sharp node to this encounter, and I don't know why. Because in my mind, actually no, I do know why. In my mind, I want to get the rest node, and like have the same amount of counters, because it's like 1, 2, and like there's a question mark up there, right? And this is always, well, most of the time this is an encounter. Same with here. So in my mind, I wanted to get a potential upgrade on a card here. Right, when I went back up there. Instead of just going to the elite. Because the elite has, like, relic, of course, right? But the relic isn't always beneficial. And the elite also gives me a gold, which, you know, you can buy more shit with, which isn't necessarily useful, because I'm basically not going to get a shot for the rest of the act. Which, you know, if it provides no immediate benefit to me, what's the point of doing it? It has also a higher chance of giving me wound and a good gamer moment from, like, the elite. So, the correct way in hindsight was probably to go to this elite, passing through this chopping hallway. But my play worked out, so who cares? Because as I found out, I literally had to pass, like, through this hallway because there was something shitty up here. And honestly, I should have doubled from here to here just to see if there's an encounter, because I've already used all my else. There's no risk in that, basically. But, you know, who cares, right? I miss it a little bit as well. Of course, immediately, Chemex. So, there's also a lot of other good shit in this shop. There's Battle Transcender Remove and maybe Fire Potion. But at this moment, I'm legit just eyeing down this Chemex right here. So, you know. Oop, there you go. I don't know why I moved my mouse cursor like that coming out of it. But yeah, this is a double node. Open up map, immediately go to this node. Very smooth transition into it. Luckily, I get the wound here. There's also a flex hit, but I've already hedged my bet so many fucking times on this. I've had many runs where I try and greed, and I go for the flex here. And I just get absolutely shit on. Because in my mind, at that time, I thought that flex was like the beans, you needed it. But you know what's even better than flex? A whirlwind, which you don't actually have yet. First whirlwind is basically essential. If you don't get an early whirlwind, you're fucked. And at this moment, I realized there was an elite up here. So, at that point, I had to eat these 2 encounters. Well, 1 encounter, basically. Go up here. Get the whirlwind upgrade. Cost us, I mean, who cares? Oh, I did actually do this play. So, I made a misplay here, because I was going to strike it, the manga. And then I just didn't. Because in my mind, I thought that one was doing 48. Because apparently 3 plus 2 in brackets times 8 is too fucking hard of a calculation. 5 times 8? That's like literally the hardest calculation ever done. So yeah, I play one and I'm like, shit, this doesn't kill. So I waste like quite a bit of time here. Second wound. So second wound is a big win pick because I know the potential. This has to be great, right? Having second wound is just so much more damage for me in this moment. And it's like, having second wound is basically having a seeing red, but seeing red takes time to play, and also seeing red exhausts, and it's faster than bloodletting, right? It's basically having another energy card of wound, except it makes slime boss more consistent, because as opposed to bloodletting and like any other energy gain card, which I mean most of them exhaust except for bloodletting, they don't do anything on them like on their own, right? Wound, double wound with Chemex, that just makes the fight infinitely quicker and more consistent, rather than having to draw into bloodletting and wound in the same hand, or flex wound and bloodletting to kill it quickly. So this is a really great situation I'm in right now. In my mind, at this moment, I'm thinking even if I don't get P-Bucks, I could hope for a bite skip or something, or like an Astro or an empty cage. That was the thought process going here. This is just how great this run is so far. This Act 1 isn't looking to be the greatest, but at the same time, it's good enough to the point where I was like, fuck it, might as well keep going. Tiny chest, 1/4 of a Juzu. Fucking great. Because having Juzu is like one of the best relics, so having a 1/4 of it is pretty decent. Not the best relic, but certainly not the shittiest. Get the curse skip by mashing on controller for more gold for the next act. And then we go here, get the bash upgrade. Simple. Or I could just get this right now. Now, this is an interesting shop because I'm thinking there's an offering there. There's also a dupe potion there. Dupe potion, Chemex wound. That's like 10 energy wound. That's 80 damage in itself. There's also a distilled chaos there. Really good with wound still for more consistent slime fights. But there's also a cauldron there. And cauldron is one of the best speedrunning relics. You know why? Smoke bomb. Smoke bomb is one of the most ridiculous fucking speedrun potions. And picking cauldron here, very good odds of getting smoke bomb from it. I believe it's like a 1% on its own. So you're just rolling the dice 5 times for 1%. Which it happens more than you think it does. I've gotten like 3 smoke bombs or 2 smoke bombs consistently off cauldron. But, in this situation, I got a little fucked. I got energy potion. I honestly should have picked the elixir here as well, in hindsight. Because that would have been a more consistent fight, but like that would have also been another menu, which is pretty long. So just picking energy potions here, pretty good. And then you do the remove, and obviously it takes longer because haha cauldron. So I really should have ordered that differently. Swift potion, because like that's the only potion I can buy. Makes the fight more consistent, isn't necessarily slow. It's just a great potion overall here. Get the mash here. Boot, best relic, based. I really should have rested there. Upgrading Strike was like the worst fucking play I could have done. It wastes more time. If I get P-Bucks, I'm removing it anyway. I actually don't know why I did that. So get the wound here, quick 40 damage. Get the bash here, wound. I make a misplay. I'm like, shit. And then I top deck into wound. I really should have striked her as well, but I mean, at this point, if I draw into wound next one, which is looking very likely because I have a 7-card deck, then I'm good. Go here. Top deck up. Easy. Double tap. So let's go into this card. Double tap is a decent speedrun card. I wouldn't say great, because if you get Necro, it's very unnecessary and probably wastes you energy. But in this situation, you have Chemex. So it turns a 5 energy wound into like what? 12 energy. Sorry, no, that's not correct. For 8 energy wound. Goes from 5 to 8. That is almost double. Almost. It's a pretty sizable increase in damage. And if you upgrade it with 2 wounds especially, that's so much more damage. So it's great here. This card roll, this boss relic roll is actually insane. Even discounting the P-Bucks here, I would have taken either of these other relics, the Astrolabe or the Dome. Because Astrolabe triple remove here, which is, it's fucking dumb. You mash proceed. into the next act. You buffer the first node of Act 2 by hitting the node, but also clicking escape on your keyboard to open the options menu. You wait for the blue to scroll through the screen, and then you click 3 cards, and then you open map after right after you've clicked the third one to remove 3 cards. Pretty good glitch, pretty practical. A little slow, a lot slower than P-Box, a lot less practical. Dome, just 1 more energy, though that isn't great in the situation considering I have Chemex. If I had like a flex, then it might be okay, but I didn't. But there's a fucking P-Box there, so why wouldn't I click the P-Box? And here is P-Box map scroll glitch. So this is just mash proceed open map. It's one of the easiest fucking glitches in the game. But, like, it's so quick in comparison to the normal abandon escape Pandora's box method. And I needed to go for it here. And I got taught this, like how to do this glitch fairly recently, so I'm glad it just came in the nick of time basically. But here you go, quick P-Box glitch. We're in Act 2. This path on the left looks insane. There's like 2 encounters immediately. That's fine. And we have a tiny chest, so we already know the second question mark's fine. So this left path on here, fucking insane. Best path. I scroll up a little bit. Who cares? As you can see, this deck does like incredible amounts of damage. I don't know. I lose all my gold here because fighting this guy still takes a long time. And if you take red mask rather, it's really slow because applying 1 week to every enemy at such every fight, that loses you like, I want to say like 5 seconds over the course of the run or more. It's probably more even. So picking Red Master is a pretty bad mistake, I feel, and it's just slow to take the fight in the first place. Orb Guardian, who fucking cares? Just play the funny Wallen card. You can see how much damage this deck does. It's really weird. I didn't expect this to work, honestly, but it did. And I really feel like I could have picked a Thunderclap, but the problem with Thunderclap is that it's slow. The animation for Thunderclap is slow and very unnecessary, as it seems to be. Skipping this shop, I really should just exit out. I have literally like 20 gold or some shit, right? 28? Yeah, it's not worth it to look in this shop at all. Go here, upgrade double tap. It's needed to do this. Avocado Rat, it's not like... It's not a slow fight, which is why I'm happy about. Bloodletting Scrape. I really, at this point, should have just stopped looking at card rolls. I don't know why I went for the double here as well, but it paid off. I literally got Girya. So I feel like Girya was the only reason why I was actually able to kill Donu Decker that quickly. I should probably calculate it after I watch this a little bit. Sundial, I mean, who cares? It's just nice to have a tiny, funny tiny chest. One strength's really good though. I go for this. If I did the remove, I would have to abandon escape on the screen for removal, which would skip it, but that loses time. So I'm glad I clicked the bottom one. Go for the lift. Interestingly, just a little note. If you just lift, you can open map and stop mashing and get to the next node as early as you can, unlike Smith and Rest, where you have to do it at a very specific timing. It's just weird. Here I decided to go for Bash. Honestly, probably a mistake. I feel like it was a mistake in hindsight. But hey, you know, deck's incredible. Just does so much damage. And I use mouse here. We do get the Act 3 map reroll glitch, which allows us to reroll the Act 3 map by using this proceed button that I gained from mashing Y on Busted Crown in the last act. Act 3 map reroll glitch can be performed with any boss relic that doesn't give you another screen layer, like Tiny House or Empty Cage. Those are relics that you can't do with. But with any energy relic, it works. Mark of Pain was just the wrong choice there because, you know, having an inconsistent deck. And also, the animation for shuffling 2 wins at the start of every fight is slow. Sacred Bark, I mean, it just does nothing for me, basically. You know, it's just go time. So, you might notice that I'm hovering, like, my question mark and my sharp node thing continuously as I get the scroll down. Now, I do this because I want to find a quick path quickly. I learned this from, I think, Pancho's stream one time. He was running defect, and I saw him do that. I was like, I'm gonna steal that, and it's done me a lot of fucking good. It's a great technique for quickly finding a great path. We have tiny chest. I should be good in this act. That was a mistake. I literally could have clicked wound and I killed. And even if I couldn't, I would just click another wound. But, you know, fine. At this point, I really shouldn't be looking at card rewards at all. Because I have Busty Crown, which incentivizes me even less to do it. But even if I didn't, just for speed's sake, I shouldn't have. And I go for this, I go for the Basher move. Now, the Basher move is a little weird. And in hindsight, probably wrong to do it. But at the time, it prevents me... I was thinking that it prevents me from drawing every fight, which saves a considerable amount of time. It prevents me from misclicking the bash in every fight. And, you know, bash is unnecessary in Donodeka. And at this point, I wasn't sure if I was going to kill Donodeka turn 1. And if I had a bash in my deck, it would make it less consistent that I would draw a wound the turn after. Because I'd have 2 days in my deck from Deka's attack. I'd have Bloodletting, double tap, and a wound. And a bash. And another wound. So, worst case scenario, I have, like, double tap, Bloodletting, bash, 2 days. Which would just fuck me, basically. Luckily, I killed it turn 1. So, like, all those things rushing through my head, I might as well just remove bash. It was available to me as well. Here's this fight. Thorns can be a little slow. But, you know, the animation there. Double tap was also not the right thing. Unfortunate Shrine Node. It's fine, who cares? I do the right play this time and actually just fucking wound. I don't know why I didn't lift there. The problem with lifting there is a little, like, slow. I use controller now because my hands are getting so fucking sweaty and my mouse hand is jittering the fuck out. So I just start mashing with my right hand. Except for this node, I actually paid attention. But there was like a little just, like, hesitation that was a decision to make. Because I was like, what is this node? What am I actually doing here? If I fuck this up, I fuck this up. I scroll up a little bit. I'm cautious as hell at this point because I'm actually not sure if this is sub 4 or not. At this point, I'm legitimately not sure. I'm not skipping these card rewards for some reason. I go for this weird double, and I think in hindsight this is actually the correct play. In retro, like in the moment itself, I was panicking, but from a big brain analysis point, this allows me to get quick lift off and immediately go to Spire Tentacle or Spire Growth rather. Just get a quick kill. I don't know why I'm looking at my potions this much though. The rest, start mashing. At this point, it's all controller for those nodes. And in this fight, it just... Yeah. Yeah. I didn't fuck up the Donodeka fight, luckily. I didn't, like, click Warren first and then click Bloodletting double tap. I'm pretty sure that I didn't need to use Gear all 3 times, but even if I didn't, I think it still sped up some fights to the point where it was worth it to do it. Having 3 immediate strength is just so good. If I got like Jack Stealer, I would have just clicked the last option. Though that loses me a little time every fight, considering it has to apply the buff to me, right? But yeah, that was the run. Hopefully you saw some of my thought process through that. I'm going to show you a little funny thing at the end. At this moment, I'm on fucking Discord. I have already clicked the print screen button on the timer on this very exact screen. And I'm just like mashing in the slowest by speedrunning Discord server that I got the sub for. Because at this point, there's a lot of pressure going into this where it's like, who's going to get the first sub 4, right? Because Uber already fucked it up with their silent run. Z already fucked it up with their 4-minute .64 Ironclad run. So, and I've already, like, I had a run yesterday where I got cucked by Transient, and if I didn't, it would have been probable sub 4. So this was monumental to me at this very moment. So I'm already on Discord just mashing my keyboard. I'm happy. How long do I pause here for? Like 10 seconds or more. And I'm like, holy fuck, I did it. That was me in that moment right here. I feel like anyone would have reacted like that though. Probably. It was just, it was a surreal experience because I did not think this was going to be sub 4. I legitimately did not think this was going to be sub 4. But my Act 3 path and Act 2 path were just such hard carries. And my deck was, like, good enough. It wasn't, like, a case where I could misplay super hard with a deck by playing too many cards of fight with, like, Flex, Bloodling, Flex, Offering, Flex, Flex, Bloodling. Because I've run into that mistake multiple times in Act 3, where I'm too cautious and I just play way too many cards. And I lose time off of it. I think everyone would do that because they're playing cautiously. They don't want to screw up a fight and lose more time by playing too little cards and not killing the enemy. But by playing too many, you're basically playing too little because you've already lost the same amount of time or more. But this deck you couldn't really do that with. Like, there wasn't much, like, you couldn't make errors because there's just not much. There was a low skill ceiling, basically, for this deck, if you want to put in layman's terms. Sit here and marvel. And I realized, oh wait, I have to actually, like, finish the run, maybe. Prove that I just didn't, like, Tassa or some shit. And that's Samore, baby. That's the human limit, as the gamers say. Steen Martin, haha. Ooh.